Welcome back, everybody, to the conclusion of the 2019 Silver Cup presented by Discmania and Roland Ridge. We have the back 11 holes of this round, and I'm joined here by Nate Perkins yet again. How's it going, Nate?
It's going great, man. Garrett is absolutely running this one down right now.
Yeah, Garrett Eagle Boy Gurthie, I think, is a new fitting nickname for him.
Sweet.
Yeah, kind of a cheesy nickname. I think it's fitting for this tournament especially. He's been snagging a ridiculous amount of eagles, almost cheating some of these shorter par fours. And now we're moving into hole number 13, 344 feet, par 3 with a super low ceiling.
Super low ceiling, and it's like a 5-foot gap that's 300 feet away.
It's such a specific late gap that they have to hit. It's all, and this is the mistake that you'll see most players making.
Yeah, and those cedar trees just swallow everything up, and if you are on that left side, it can get pretty brutal to get up and down.
If anything, your miss needs to be right.
Yeah.
And Cale's a little bit too low, but he's still in a decent position to get up and down.
This is an eagle from Calvin. No one else is doing it like he is with this. Look at that redirect. Oh, and it almost finds the gap.
It's such a tight gap, and really the play is to be drifting right subtly as you're moving towards it. It's such a tough par 3. That's the interesting thing about this course. A lot of the par 4s that we have are, I wouldn't call them soft, but they're definitely shorter and more eagleable. The par 3s out here are super challenging.
Yeah, really tricky. It's definitely an old school. It's got that old school style feel to it on these par 3s.
Absolutely does on the par 3s. And yet, obviously, on this super layout, they've lengthened a lot of them to where you're having to throw some really, really challenging shapes. And clearly on this hole, the players are being challenged.
Boom. Wow.
There's that
Running
spin
it
putt
down.
coming in handy. Sweet putt from Cale.
And he needs it. I mean, I didn't even realize, but with 11 holes to go, Calvin and Cale are both 5 back.
Yeah, Garrett's kind of been running away with this, and there's another one from Garrett. He just, as much as that was a par save, you can tell he's really feeling it right now, especially on the putting green. He's throwing in Sonics.
Yeah, it's all clicking for Garrett right now.
And it's not like any of the rest of these players are playing too rough. It's just like we keep looking down at the scoreboard and we're like, well, how is he snagging another stroke on all these players?
Yeah.
We still have plenty of golf left. Hole number 14. This one is a dead straight 455-foot par 3. Again, keeping the theme of scoreable, eagleable par 4s and super tough par 3s.
Yeah, this is an elite level birdie. To get it to fly, that's straight. Look at that redirect, too. I mean, even Garrett, with as much power that he has, still couldn't get it to fly quite that straight. And we saw Cale play this one for a par.
That's going to sit down a little bit.
You know,
should be okay from down there.
It's just, he's 5 back.
Yeah.
He's 5 back, and he's still sticking to the layup game plan.
And it is an interesting play, but at the same time, I bet he tried practicing the long shot. And if it's too risky, especially coming down the stretch here, you have to stick to your game plan.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that, if somebody else gets aggressive, that they make the mistake and it's not you.
Yep. Terry going with a forehand here, and plenty of power on that one.
Yeah, I think he just yanked on it a little bit, didn't quite commit to the hyzer angle. That looked like it might have been a Zeus coming out of his hand.
And early left here is trouble. You can see Terry was just off the fairway and had to reach way out around those cedars.
And we have Cale opting for a forehand, which is a rare sight to see.
Yeah, you don't see that often at all.
Clearly, he's pretty darn good at it. Sweet shot from Cale.
That's a nice approach. Boom. Oh, man, that looked so good.
Look, and there's his doggy dish.
That was actually a really great angle, and it showed you his grip, and And the way that his wrist was so relaxed with the Sonic in his hand.
Yeah, he puts a ton of work in with that disc, and you can see how high the skill ceiling is on the disc, how softly you can land it, how accurate you can be with it, but it definitely takes a little bit of time to spend with it.
Have you thrown it, actually?
I have. I've played catch with one.
It's so difficult.
It's so slow.
It's definitely a frisbee more than disc off disc.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was made after a fastback mold. And we see some pars getting tapped in here. That hole was probably not birdied as much as we think here. Moving into hole number 15, uphill par 4. Players are pretty much going to be taking similar lines. There is, as we saw in a previous round, Garrett did try taking a giant turnover on the left side. But if you want the birdie 3, it's an uphill power shot with a driver.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that there was an Annie route until Garrett threw it yesterday. It looks like he's just
learning his lesson.
Opting to play the safe hyzer shot.
And that's where you want to be. I mean, you want to have the disc go up and to the left so you have kind of an opened route to this funneled green. Another textbook shot from Cale.
I think I saw we had an Alyssa sighting right there.
Photographer extraordinaire.
This is her hometown. Her dad is actually the tournament director of the Silver Cup for the past 19 years.
Bringing us some fantastic photos from all over the country. Shout-outs to Alyssa. Terry going with a sidearm approach to this funneled green and clips something a little bit late. Might have a circle 2 look. And this is the approach that you want to have on this hole.
Oh
boy.
Just almost drops it in out of that tree.
Another great approach from Calvin. And here is the Sonic.
It can get a little bit tricky over there if you're too far left or too far right. I mean, Terry is inside the circle, and
oh my
wow,
gosh,
that looks like such an obstructed putt.
I wish we had a second and maybe a third camera angle on that. That was an insane putt from Terry.
Yeah, I really like to go when I'm playing in person and someone hits one like that. I like to go and see exactly what their line was and just marvel at it.
Yeah, that is not an easy putt to hit. Everybody else was having to tap in some pretty easy birdies, and Terry was working hard out there.
Yeah, thank you for that one, Terry. It's getting a little, these birdies are just...
all these tap-ins.
Yes, so many tap-ins. These guys are, this is lead card, final round. These guys are dialed, and they're just racking up birdies.
Yeah, it's crazy to watch. And moving into this one, I'm intrigued to see with these players playing as well as they are, how they maneuver this crazy fairway.
Yeah, this one's tight, man.
Yeah, that's
really tight.
All you really have to say about the hole. It's tight.
It's tight. It's really tight, and I actually don't. I've never birdied it. I've never birdied this hole.
Fun fact.
Have you birdied it?
I have.
In competition?
I have birdied it in competition.
That's epic.
With a flare. I think you see a lot of, lefty players throwing a backhand flare, righty players throwing a forehand that tries to skip. Just because the disc is coming in a little bit more hyzer, so that the profile of the disc is a little bit more vertical.
Yeah.
Just to miss these trees. Calvin's going with the forehand. And that's why I liked Garrett's play of the roller, because it completely thins out the profile of the disc so you can miss trees a little bit more easily. Terry clips some stuff early. This is a hole where you see a lot of people just clipping stuff on the way down, and a 3 is really not that bad.
No, it's not at all, because you can see there. I mean, Calvin, pretty decent drive, hits 3/4 of the way up there and has a somewhat tricky approach on this really slanted green. I mean, this green is fast.
Yeah, if he's going to run it, he's going to do something a little bit softer.
So Cale decided that it was time to try and make a move and goes after that one, goes a little long, that was Garrett's drive that went?
Yeah, his roller went
high down the hill.
Long. Yeah.
A little reset from Terry.
Ouch.
Almost drops that one in.
And Cale is big putt here. And that's the difference between a top caliber pro and someone who's just getting their feet wet in the division is the ability to run a putt like that and then still make the 30-foot comebacker. It's the confidence of being able to drill a putt when you know that putt is for par, and if a miss could mean a bogey. So great putt from Cale.
Yeah, it could mean a bogey, and it could be the end of his run at the Silver Cup title.
Exactly. So coming down the stretch, being able to run something like that with that much confidence, that just shows you how long he's been at it.
And with I believe 6 or 7 holes to go, Garrett still has a 5-stroke lead. So pretty comfortable lead. And we saw that he also eagled a few holes yesterday that we have coming up. So he still has some opportunities to pull even further away.
And hole 17, as much as it's a 240-foot hole, it is every bit of a 300-foot shot.
Oh, yeah.
Super uphill. We have a elevated green. It looks like Garrett's going with a mid-range here.
Yeah, that's that rock 3. Wow, look at that. So
what are they supposed to do at this point? He's rolling.
Oh, man. He's got to have so much spin to get the mid-range to skip uphill even. Cale's ripping a...
Yeah.
He's ripping a...
I think that might have been a driver.
Yeah, that's that H3 again. I believe it's a 9-speed.
Yeah, I think that's the school of thought of kind of driving it into the hill and getting that forward skip.
Yeah.
Calvin, I think, tried going with a mid-range and just hit a little bit too early on that hill.
Oh, no. Yeah, a little early release right there from Terry. That's going to be a tricky approach.
That was strong enough. I think that's great.
Wow.
I think so.
A little bit high left. I'm not sure where his disc ended up completely, but I think he should have a stance.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Oh, my gosh.
That was tragic.
And a potential 2-stroke. Oh, my goodness.
The double roll away. No.
You hate seeing something.
Yeah, you really hate seeing that.
Like
I mean, but that really is the danger on this hole. I mean, it's the elevated pin. You can see how slanted this really is.
And the moment you hit edge, it's off to the races, really.
And he knew it, too. When he missed that putt, and it hit, his body language kind of showed that he was waiting for it to sit down.
Oh, boy. Cale from about 45. That was not expected.
Yeah, that was a painful hole for Cale here, coming down the stretch of this final round. And with Garrett parked, too, I mean, he's going to be losing 4 strokes to the leader, and with with Garrett, he's losing 5 strokes to the leader, or 4.
That was a 4-stroke swing.
4-stroke swing.
Triple bogey,
Cale.
6 for Cale, and you could tell after he slammed that disc in the basket, his chances of taking this down have just become quite a bit slimmer.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much it's out of it. He's out of it at this point for the win. Calvin is still 4 strokes back, and we still do have some tricky holes down the stretch. It's very possible for some swings to happen. And we saw this roller get all the way down there in round 2, and it looks like he has done it again. That's so nasty to lay that down.
500-foot roller through a tight gap.
Through a gap, dude, and misses everything.
And I mean, Calvin has laced this air shot but he doesn't have a look at the eagle. It's that roller is really the play that you want to lay down if you want to catch Garrett at this point.
We're running out of kicks.
Terry does clip something on the left, but I think it kicked him back in the fairway.
Oh, wow. Yeah, very tight looking air shot from Cale, and it's in a really great position. But again, just no chance at the eagle while Garrett's sitting down there counting
40 feet.
counting everyone else's throws.
Unfortunate ground play there from Terry. Doesn't quite get the flare.
Yeah, he's under the basket for birdie. He's definitely not gaining one on the leader, though.
Nope. Cale's right there at 15 feet for his birdie as well. Terry's going to have to either run this with the OB behind it or lay up for that par. Close call there. Looks like, unfortunately, Garrett's roller did penetrate a little bit too far into the woods, and he's just going to have a little chip sidearm over the top.
He's past pin high. All right.
That's a great putt from Terry. And that's the thing here. Even if Terry knows he's not in it to win it at this point, every single stroke matters at this tournament. There's so many good players behind them on chase card, and anybody can pop off a huge round here.
Yeah, you're definitely playing for position. You know, it's not all about the win. The win is definitely, you know, the goal for these players, but
Yeah.
third is still better than fourth, and
Yeah, it's just crazy, you know, watching. Clearly, Garrett's in the zone right now, and watching him play this course, he's playing it completely differently from every other player on the card.
yeah, he really is.
Completely differently, and
Yeah, it's a great point.
the way he thinks about this course is not even close to the same as anybody else in this, even in this tournament. We're gonna go into hole number 19, which is another hole where he throws almost an identical roller, and we saw him get the eagle on this in the previous round.
Yeah, it's just really amazing. Shout out to Terry Miller for coming out here year after year and filming this, because it would just be a shame if Garrett did this and we only had stories to tell about it, because we're getting to see some of the best shots in Wisconsin disc golf history right here.
Yeah, and it's there's definitely merit to have holes like this. These 450 to 550 foot par fours where an eagle is attainable with a phenomenal shot. And we're getting to see quite a few of those here. And Calvin just blasts an air shot.
Huge air shot, dude. He's circle 2 for sure.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Man, this is crazy. That's such a nasty line to execute.
And Cale is throwing an extremely solid.
Oh, it needs to.
Oh no! I thought that was going to hold the turn.
It totally looked like it did, but it faded out, and that's really the
I-
fatal mistake here on this hole 19.
Definitely niced him on that one, and Terry hoping to make the
Down
correction.
there. A little more stable there.
I just did. I don't know.
Yeah, Terry really put everything he had into that one. That was
Yeah,
a beautiful
that was a
distance
huge shot.
drive. This is probably, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the very first time that Cale has ever thrown OB on this hole in 10 years.
I would not doubt that for a second. It's just, you can tell he might be a little bit rattled, and he knows he's out of it now, and he's one of those players that when he shows up to a tournament like this, he
The
plays to
butterfly
win.
went down. We watched them pass us.
And are they looking at?
Oh my.
That breaks my heart. He's still moving.
Actually, a butterfly.
A beautiful. Is that a monarch? Am I correct, or is it not?
Sorry, guy.
Yeah, for real, dude. That's carnage.
Phenomenal camera work on that butterfly there.
Oh, he almost snags another long-distance putt. That would have been sweet. Eagle.
Huge.
Do it. Oh, wow. Not sure what that green one is. Is that a...
I haven't seen him throw that all round. Usually it's the big blue one that he picks up. So
yeah,
I'm not
maybe
quite sure.
Maybe it's just a fresh Sonic.
He might be his stable one. Did Calvin just take like a low key?
The most nonchalant eagle all time,
I'm just gonna
dude.
throw like a casual turnover.
Was that circle one?
Yeah. That. That's why I don't think I was very phased initially because I thought it was for a 3, but that was
Yeah. That's Calvin's third eagle of the round. So we got a little eagle battle going on.
Yeah, what's crazy is
What's crazy is that
Calvin
air
is
shot with that destroyer.
I know. And Calvin is now 31 under par and actually has taken some strokes here.
Yeah, he's 4 back, and we've got 3 holes remaining, I believe. A little
Yeah.
difficult to count.
And if he goes birdie eagle, you never know what could happen here. We have some tough birdies coming up and an eagle opportunity. So this one is really the last gimme birdie on the course.
Yeah, it is one of the easier birdies on the final 3 holes. 324. This one does have some OB. There is some danger if you do misfire on this hole. It slopes from right to left here.
That was some Tiger Woods golf action.
You really don't see an Annie roll like that very often.
That was like that video game where you can control the spin regardless of where you put it. That was pretty good luck actually from Calvin because he needs that birdie.
Just go ahead and replay that, guys, and look how far back the disc is in Garrett's hand. I really stress that when I teach forehand clinics. You want to get that disc behind.
Absolutely.
Way behind. You want your hand to lead, so go ahead and rewind. Check out Garrett's forehand. I mean, he's not really known for his forehand, but he can definitely throw.
Sticks it under the basket from 330.
Solid. I don't know what that red disc is. Something pretty overstable, though.
Oh, definitely. And Cale, not known to throw too many forehands off the tee, opts for a more textbook hyzer flip backhand. He's about 20 from the basket.
Just fires it in there. Can't wait to talk to him about his new putt.
Yeah, it's a really interesting change that we've gotten to witness, and a lot of interesting things at this tournament that we've gotten to see, and I think the course really just sets up for it. Great birdie from Terry there.
Yeah, this has been a fun tournament to watch and commentate on. Just the unbelievable amount of scoring going on here at Silver Creek.
It's outrageous. And Garrett yet again snags a birdie, and we're going to move into probably the toughest, I would say one of the toughest par 3s in the course here.
Yeah, I would agree with you. With that Mando in place, I mean, really perfectly placed Mando. Otherwise, these players would just be throwing just lawn dart hyzers the entire way there. But all that road right there is out of bounds, so they can't just mash one over the top. They've got to be precise. That looks money. That's dropping. Get a little skip.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah, that's the, I would say, the ultimate line on this hole. To turn one over, get it to drop under those trees late, which is difficult because you're starting to throw uphill. So the nose is up, it's exposed.
Exactly. Yeah. And Garrett has put himself in a position to get another birdie, and he threw a mid-range off the tee, 426 feet.
Yeah, it starts to get a little depressing, I would say, as a player to see this.
He is part of the, very small percentage of disc golfers that has such a, crazy complete shot arsenal with a backhand. And he's putting on an absolute clinic out here. And we're watching all these great players. Terry's throwing a beautiful shot here. Looks like he might have caught a little bit of bad luck on that ground play, but we're watching Cale Leiviska, who's been 1030 rated for maybe a decade, and Garrett is just on fire and not giving any of these people a chance right now.
Yeah, it's definitely been Garrett's weekend.
As of right now, it is. Calvin for a birdie.
Ooh.
And that could have been a dagger. That could have created a little bit of a tension here, but he unfortunately misses right. Has to tap in for the par, and they remain square here.
I really wanted him to hit that. I don't know if I've ever seen this hole birdied.
Yeah, I can't say that I have either, and that would have been a huge dagger. And with, I think we have...
Yeah, we've just got 2 holes left.
Yeah,
got
two holes
straight
left.
one onto the cliff, and then we've got the downhiller.
And and that would have been a huge dagger. That would have allowed Calvin to potentially go birdie eagle to force Garrett to make a move. And we will see how the rest go. We have some tough holes coming up, and this one especially is one where if you hit early, a 3 is not easy here.
Yeah, we've seen some numbers on this hole in the past. Definitely tough to score here. We've got a cliff right behind the pin. Pretty fast green.
And it's a 386-foot subtle turnover with clearly a tight gap.
Yeah, tight gap, and you're throwing a little bit uphill. And like you said, it's subtle. It doesn't start turning over until pretty much halfway in the flight.
Exactly. You cannot go Anheuser right off the tee. Calvin is a little bit short, throws that a little bit high. Garrett getting a little bit of loving on that, actually. Misses quite a few bushes, and he's putting for a birdie again. Okay.
Man, just such beautiful, beautiful rock shot.
Yes, twin.
Cale going inside as well with an M4, I believe. And he's circle 2, putting for birdie as well.
Yeah, both those shots are just really high level. To flip it up inside that tree right there and then continue to fly
challenging.
straight.
Nice little zone popper forehand from Terry.
Your boy, Terry. Not bad. What's that? How old are you? 47. He's young. Youngster.
Calvin definitely giving that one a little bid.
At that point, it was kind of necessary to run that birdie.
I mean, I'm not sure where our chase card is at, but Calvin has a pretty comfortable cushion over 3rd place right now. He's got 2nd place pretty locked up, so definitely...
I think he's trying to make some moves for the win and
Yeah.
to at least force Garrett to do something. As Terry knocks down his putt for a par. Calvin also has about a 20-footer. And here's Garrett for a birdie again.
Yeah, a little right side.
Yeah, that was kind of a lazy-looking putt. It was almost like he knows what the score is and maybe just wasn't even thinking about it and rushed it. Ends
It's
the
hard
birdie
to
streak.
tell with that putt, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously Garrett is one of the best throwers of the disc in the game, but, you know, I don't think the stats aren't going to tell us that he's one of the best putters, you know? He
Absolutely.
He misses quite a few circle 1 putts.
And clearly he's made enough of them this tournament, and he's gotten enough eagles to where it's been a nice cushion for him. And moving into this final hole here, 528-foot par 4, beautiful peninsula green, and we have Garrett has a 4-stroke lead over 2nd place. Cale's throwing a little bit of a subtle hyzer down here.
Yeah, look at that. Just moving from right to left the entire length of the flight.
And
Pretty much
that's-
perfect placement.
Exactly.
I believe that's another eagle.
And that wind is ripping out there. If that's an eagle, that is the most stable eagle I've ever seen.
Calvin makes him look straight, but yeah, that one was definitely his stable one. I would love to see Garrett go over the top. Man, he doesn't want any of that. He's just going subtle hyzer with the Jeff Ass Destroyer.
It's okay.
And there's a little sonic run to the basket.
Oh, it's free.
That needs to sit, and it does.
Great positioning.
Oh, what up, Alyssa? And Garrett's just had a great year.
He's had a really, really solid season. And also, congratulations to him for getting that bump-up promotion to the star team. I think it was absolutely well-deserved.
Yeah, and be on the lookout for that Wombat 3. I know that Innova just released his star team series Wombat 3, and looks pretty sweet. And I'm very interested to see that speed and stability of this get worked into the tour a little bit. You know, it's not a very common mold.
No, and he's bringing a lot of unique molds to the game, and showing people that there are some other discs out there that are underrated, and I think it's really cool that he's doing that. Calvin from about 25 after clipping a little bit on that putt.
And still, just all day. These guys are just
great tournament from
good.
Calvin as well. I mean, 33 under par at this tournament is fantastic.
Yeah, especially starting off at Roland Ridge, black to back.
Black to black.
Black to black. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, 33 under par would normally comfortably win this event.
Great putt from Terry to finish the tournament as well. And other than that horrible 6 that he had to take on that par 3, Cale had a phenomenal tournament as well.
Yeah, super smooth as always. Really just a pleasure to watch and commentate on.
And we have another A-tier win from Garrett Gurthie. He is having a phenomenal season. Masters Cup, CCR. He wins this one, and I believe he has a couple more this year. It's been a pleasure to watch, and there's a big hug from Jessica Weiss.
Yeah, he's now a 2-time Silver Cup champion.
Thank you so much for watching, and Nate, I think we are signing off here.
Good stuff, Brian.
I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and that was my video blog. I'm joined by our 2-time champion here, Double G. The last time you were here, you won. You show up in 2019 and you win. Are you going to keep coming back?
Definitely. Jim puts on a really good event here, and you know, we wouldn't be back if it wasn't for him. You know, I reached out to him to see if there was spots available. There's plenty of spots for the tournament. I said, hey, I'm coming. You treated me right the first time I was here. I got it done. I won it. I wanted to come back to try to repeat a title, and I'm fortunate to do so today. So.
Well, and when you're playing here, as everyone's seen throughout the weekend, every skill set is challenged. Your putting, your accuracy in the woods, your distance, a little bit of everything. Do you feel like you had to utilize all of those?
Absolutely. One of the main things was my driving was pretty good off the tee, so I didn't have to scramble as much. The guys I played with have really good forehands to kind of get them out of the stuff and keep them rolling. I don't really have that, so I kind of did the opposite with the roller. I had the roller working this weekend and getting me some birdies, so I appreciate Innova making discs that roll really nice.
Well, and I was just going to say, everybody here was clamoring for the rollers. They want to see the big throws in the air, the big throws on the ground with the rollers, and you were providing. What does it mean to take down a win here in the middle of the season? I feel like we're, just a few weeks out from Worlds. We're in the Midwest. How does that feel?
It's great momentum going into the next 4 tournaments, especially Worlds coming up. I'm really excited for that. I play pretty well at Ledgestone, so I'm ready to put it all on the table. I've been working hard this year. I've been getting some putting practice in, and if you're not getting your results, go to the putting surface. That's what Double G did, and it's finally paying off. So I want to thank all my sponsors. Grip 6 belts, if you haven't heard of them. Got a GG belt out now. Go check them out. Thought Space Athletics, Innova Champion, Grip. Man, they all make things work for me over the week, so I appreciate him.
He's been on the road. He's a road warrior and doing things just right this summer. we're looking to see if that momentum, like you said, carries him into the next few events and at the World Championships. This is Double G. Again, he's your 2-time champion here at the Silver Cup. Thanks everyone for supporting. Thanks to all the camera crews and all the work out here this weekend. We'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, buddy. Nice work.
You wore the flamingo shirt,
Yeah,
dude. It was
yeah.
meant to be.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.